Awayithandi awayifuni
Yo NUMSA
ayiwafuna
NUMSA
asiwafuna makapeta
NUMSA Yo NUMSA.
Good day and welcome to the very first episode of our new show called Workers' Power. My name is Pagamile Hlubi Majola and I'm the national spokesperson for the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa. This show will focus exclusively on workers' power and the power that workers have to improve their conditions, to democratize the workplace, to improve salaries and wages and benefits for workers and their families. Our show will also be focusing on the struggles of workers, not just here in South Africa, but on the African continent and all over the world. This first episode is going to focus on some of the activities of NUMSA, as well as some of the solidarity work of the union. Having said that, let's begin. The importance of worker-to-worker solidarity as well as political education were among some of the very important themes that were dealt with in an event that took place recently at the NUMSA Northern Cape and Free State region. This was an event of mass education and political induction. It was an event which was actually as a result of a resolution by the NUMSA Central Committee that all NUMSA members must frequently and regularly engage in political education. It was highly successful and obviously hosted by the Regional Secretary, Comrade Andile Zito, and members of the NUMSA national leadership were there. The JC Bears regional educator, Comrade Vuyo Doli, gave a presentation on the history of the union and the conditions that gave rise to NUMSA's formation.
Our power will be in unity. Set aside all prejudices. Let's set aside anything that might seek to disorganize, and for the purpose of fighting against the system and defeating it, unite. A lot of unions matched. It's not easy, comrade, for that to actually take place. I see it as a decisive political and ideological outlook to realize whatever the little differences, contradictions within ourselves as a class that we may have, we have a bigger enemy, that is capital, that is the apartheid, that we must unite and deal with decisively. One element, which is key ingredient to sustain a system, class ownership of the means of production. Without that leadership, we are going to continue to suffer.
Yonis Gedi Alaso, who's the coordinator of Pan-Africanism Today Secretariat, also presented on opportunities and challenges for socialist construction in Africa today. This was followed up by a keynote address by the NUMSA General Secretary, Comrade Irvin Jim, who basically gave a foundation to workers in terms of their expectations and also their roles and responsibilities as part of the induction.
A trade union is nothing without unity. That's why we say united we stand, divided we fall, and injury to one. That's why we say that, comrades, that unity of NUMSA is compulsory and sacrosanct. The NUMSA is unique because it is a worker control union. It is a militant revolutionary union. You sell your labor, comrades, and therefore, if you sell your labor, you've got a right to decide at what value do you want to sell your labor. The nature of the capitalist system is such that you're just getting paid something called wages for 2 hours. The rest of other hours you give to the bosses for free. You workers, you are the producers of wealth. That is why, with you organized, with you united, the working class cannot be defeated.
With solidarity and internationalism as a guiding principle of NUMSA, comrades from the United Textile Workers Union in Lesotho traveled through to attend the event. Also present at the event were representatives from the Federation, the South African Federation of Trade Unions, SAFTU, as well as, of course, representatives from HAITU, the Health Workers Trade Union, and SAPU, the Policing Union. We spoke to NUMSA members attending the political induction on the purpose of the program, the role of political education, and what their expectations are moving forward.
We are here today because we decided as NUMSA leadership in the province, taking the decision that was made in last year, 2022, on the December 16 Central Committee of Political Induction. So that's the reason we're here. We've told ourselves as leadership that we need to go back to basics, because we've seen that it is important that comrades, not only shop stewards, but also members, to understand their organizations, moreover to understand what is expected also from them by the organization. And one of the things that we also included in this induction, it's also for members to understand what they can gain from the union. We believe as NUMSA that, as the General Secretary has said it, that NUMSA does not require or does not only focus on a shop steward that holds a clock card, but after work, you are becoming a member or a community member where you reside. We are of the view that socialist state is what we need. We need to have ownership of what we work with our own hard labor.
Moving forward, I expect that we start walking the talk. Today we're talking the walk, but going forward we should walk the talk. NUMSA as an organization, it means this is the solution of the workers to do unemployment, poverty and inequality. That's what NUMSA means. NUMSA is very different from other trade unions because NUMSA is a worker-mandated trade union, and NUMSA is the biggest in Africa, and NUMSA champions, NUMSA capacitates, NUMSA equips its shop steward and its workers at the shop floor.
NUMSA actually did a very great job in terms of inducting us about politics, because we are living politics on a daily basis of our lives. We are experiencing politics even at our workplaces. On a daily basis, we are affected by load sheddings, we are affected by shortage of water, we are affected by unemployment. So it's very important to enhance shop stewards or workers specifically in terms of the politics that is surrounding them. I'm hoping that we, as workers of South Africa, we unite and stand together.
And now on to our next issue. The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa in the Hlanganani region recently staged a protest march to the Israeli embassy in Pretoria in order to demand an end to the apartheid system which has been imposed on the people of Palestine for decades. Members of NUMSA marched with placards and banners to demand an end to the unlawful occupation of the Israeli government on Palestinian land. Every square inch of land which Israel has stolen from the Palestinian people must be returned back. This is a demand that NUMSA has been consistently making for decades. NUMSA has a long history of solidarity and support with the people of Palestine. As an organization, we believe very strongly that Israel is an apartheid state and that it is imposing apartheid on the people of Palestine. And as a union, we believe that Israel should be treated as a pariah state for this long-term oppression which it has engaged with the people of Palestine. In the memorandum, these are some of the demands that we made. We demanded an immediate end to the unlawful occupation by Israel on Palestinian territory. NUMSA also demanded an end to the daily, persistent tyranny and violence that apartheid Israel unleashes on the people of Palestine on a daily basis. And, of course, we demanded the removal of the Israeli embassy and its ambassador from South African soil and from this country. Thank you so much for joining the show. Today we unpacked some of the activities that NUMSA engaged in. Don't forget to like or subscribe this channel. And of course, we want to hear from you. Give us your comments, give us your suggestions. If you don't like what we're doing, tell us, we'll engage you. Otherwise, see you again next time on Workers' Power with me, Pagamile Hlubi Majolo.
Socialism, socialism, socialism.